Becoming is better than being, and that's precisely why we consider ourselves to always be a work in progress. It means that you are never complete, and you always have the opportunity to become someone better.
It allows you the ability to be comfortable with making mistakes and accepting yourself for who you are.
Yes, we are a work in progress. Hi, I'm AX.
I am GK.
And I am Hussein.
Welcome to
Hi, y'all.
today's show. So, before we get into our conversation for the day, we're going to warm ourselves up for the topic using a game that is called Blast from the Past. Basically, our producer has gone through the internet archives, found a few images of products that we knew long ago, and the aim of everyone is to try and attempt to guess it. People at home can also play it. Each image will be on the screen as we see it. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Let's look at the first image.
Oh, this is the Yellow Pages. So this is the Yellow Pages, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We actually owned one of these at home.
No.
Yeah, we owned one of these at
When?
home. Then you flip the pages and you see like John. Then there are like 1,000 Johns.
Wait, you mean to tell me like in the 1990s?
Hey, I'm not that old.
No, but like in the 1990s, everyone just you had to register your number, and then everyone's number was in one book.
Yes.
One big book. And then I remember we had to take the phone with the cable and start thinking. I still try and play games with it. I can't find it anymore. But it's so fun to dial those numbers. God. But anyways, Yellow Pages. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Vix Kingo.
Wow, you just needed to see 1 second.
That's the Vix Kingo man.
Oh, yeah.
They really work. My nose is clear and my throat feels much better. Sante sana.
I've never seen this
Christian,
ad
clearly you
before.
ascribed to Vix Kingo 100%. Huh?
Yes, they
You were
are.
bought
There
by
are
that ad.
Throat lozenges. So they used to clear your throat. So yeah, Vix Kingo.
Okay, next one.
Okay. Cassette tapes?
That's not a brand.
I don't know what brand of I don't know.
Walkman?
No.
The Walkman is the thingy.
They look like
This is
cartridges.
terrible. No, really.
Oh, VHS. Oh.
What is this?
This one will pass.
Yeah, I will
I
also
have
pass.
no idea.
Eh,
8 tracks.
No, 8 tracks.
Oh, 8 tracks.
This one.
I've never heard of them in my life.
Okay,
Next one.
Nope. Oh, dial-up internet.
Safaricom. This Safaricom.
Oh.
The VoIP one.
Nah, I never used those in my life.
I
Since
remember
Safaricom.
using one.
So it's Safaricom.
We
isn't
keep
it?
going?
I don't know.
Next one.
Okay. Oh, I know these juices.
They're called Bimbo.
No.
They're called Bimbo.
Was it
yeah.
Bimbo?
Really?
No, you're wrong. For some reason, the producers told me you're wrong.
Oh, what
but
is
I
it?
remember them. There were these
Tetra Pak juices.
Yeah.
Tetra Pak juices. Oh, they're called
Bibo.
Bibo.
Okay.
I think we're gonna give
You know
that
what?
point.
These used to slap. Oh my God, they were so much fun to
They
have
were
in your
so
lunchbox.
expensive. They were 12 bob.
Now you remember the prices.
Yeah.
Wow, you were really
I
taken
love
aback by
it.
them.
12 shillings. Whenever you had 12 bob, you'd
buy one of these.
You'd enjoy.
So,
Okay,
last
next
one.
one.
Internet Explorer, Microsoft.
You guys are
Delete.
not even giving me an opportunity to guess.
So clearly you've lost.
Internet Explorer. Yeah, I have lost. I accept. This is for the first time in WIP history.
No.
GK has lost
No.
a game.
No,
First time
for
in
the
WIP
first
history.
time you've accepted.
Yes, accepted.
Not that you've lost.
Anyways, let's not focus on that. Let's move on to the conversation today. So if you
Okay.
could tell by the products that we've been looking about, today we're going to talk about a product, but one product in particular. So as young children, we're sort of taken aback by images of or mascots of our favorite cereals, our favorite chocolates, everything, and that helps purchasing. So one of the ones that was very popular, not very popular here in Kenya, but very popular around the world is M&M. Okay, so what M&M have done in the recent past is they've converted their green M&M, because they had like circle M&Ms, each male personified. So you had like 5, and the green one was like a very
Feminine,
leggy,
it was feminine.
very feminine person, and they've now converted that green M&M to have socks, make it less feminine and all that. And what has happened is the internet has really given a backlash. So I would like us to have a conversation around it and what you guys think about it. What do you think about it, AX?
You told the story wrong.
Okay.
Here's exactly what happened. All right, so the green M&M has a new look for sure.
Yes.
And what GK meant when he said, "Oh, it used to be more feminine," was that the green M&M used to have high-heeled go-go boots, and now the green M&M has sensible white sneakers that you can use for like going to yoga and like going to the office and like doing all these amazing things.
Okay.
And the reason why people were mad, the reason I'm mad myself, not really mad, but just more
Perplexed.
not perplexed, like more. Just
irritated.
Thank you, irritated. Is because like the green M&M was very comfortable in her sexuality. She was very comfortable being, you know, that forward and that openly sexy. And now all of a sudden they've given her sneakers as if to say that if in order to be like a modern feminist icon, you must, you know, keep a chain on your sexuality. And although, you know, no, that's wrong.
And you know, Mars, who are the owners of the Eminem, they said what they're doing is they're changing all their personalities to focus more on the personality of the Eminem rather than on the gender. So it's caused a huge backlash, and it's led me to ask you guys two questions. Number one, AX has sort of answered, but Chris, I'd like your perspective, which is, was this move even necessary?
I understand the need to have representation across the board, because like you said, as kids, we like to attach, or we are attracted to the branding. People used to like, if you see a cat jumping through a number 9 or number 8, you know that's ever ready, right off the bat. So the branding is very, very important.
I didn't get that.
Sorry, you had the power, right? So that's why. So my issue is, them rebranding the Eminems and making them more neutral than feminine or masculine character, I have a problem with that slightly, because you don't have to take away one thing to have another. You say they have like 5, What if they did it this way? This is just my thinking. They have two boyish, two girl-ish, and one more neutral, right?
Okay.
So you're giving everyone everything, but not taking away from someone to give to someone else. Because now the message that they put that across, in my own thinking, is it's okay to be neutral, right? But is it okay to be feminine? That's not my question. Is it okay to be to demonstrate masculine traits? Or should I just be neutral? Should I be at all times 50-50, or is it okay to lean to one side?
You know, Chris, that's led me to ask you another question, because we're currently in the generation of gimmicks. I'm going to call it the gimmick generation, where a number of brands are sort of changing their image to represent the times. You know, for example, there's this pancake batter that was very famous in America that had a very black slave-looking woman, and she was removed from the image. And Jemima. You had so many attempts to change the way brands are represented to sort of attract the new market. So my question is, do these gimmicks, and I'll start with you, AX, do these gimmicks actually make a difference?
Okay. My starting point will be what Chris just said about how representation is very important, right? So I think from that perspective, changing representations to have a media that's filled with more positive representations of the African American community, the gay community, I guess all these marginalized communities, including Native Americans, does a world of good. Because eventually, if people start seeing more positive depictions of Black people, Native Americans, gay people, etc., you're going to start thinking better of them, and you're going to be more willing to listen to them and to listen to what they have to say. However, my point still remains that I personally think that this change was done because the executives were like, look, everyone else is doing it, why not us? We also do it. This felt more gimmicky than the rest.
Yeah, because the generation has changed. You know, beyond just America, because we've talked about America for a while, countries and states and other brands around the world have done these rebranding things. Look at Africa. The last year we had a whole thing by Germany called, people were coining it the apology tour, when they came to Namibia and apologized, agreed they're going to give reparations. You had the French President Macron coming to countries saying that what France did in the past was wrong, and now they're trying to rebrand themselves. So there's a whole revolution of it. And my question for you guys is there a solution to it? Ama, they're all just gimmicks and we should toss them away?
I'll pick up from where you left, with the countries going around saying, we apologize, we're sorry for doing this, we'll give you back your artifacts, some of them, right? That's well and good. You'll give us back our artifacts, but you kept them for over 100 years in
Thank
some
you.
instances, right?
Thank
and in those
you.
100 years, you made so much money from them. Are you going to give us some of the profits that you realized from keeping our
Preach.
artifacts? Because now it's very face value, and I'm not saying that you don't give us back our artifacts. Give us back, but pay us with interest. If you go to
Yes.
court, you're told, pay this person what you owe them with interest. Pay us back with interest. Give us our art. Give us something else in advance. Don't just tell us sorry. You can have it back now. Now that you don't have any more use for it.
Yeah.
Give us back what you rightfully owe us, and give us back something a bit extra.
Yeah, sorry, just to add on to what Chrisem is saying about this whole apology tour even felt half-hearted, right? Because it came across as if you were only doing it because their people in their countries were complaining that Black Lives, not complaining, they were advocating that Black Lives Matter, and the government was like, look, we don't want to hear it anymore, we don't want to talk about racism because that means going into our own past, and we don't want to interrogate our past. And then I think it was also motivated by a fear, like, of Chinese rising influence in Africa, right? Because if you look at the trade imbalances, I think Africa's been skewing a lot more towards Chinese aid and Chinese companies than they have been towards European and American companies. And so seeing that loss of dominance and more importantly influence, these petty countries are coming here to apologize to us decades after you have committed your transgressions, and your apology is not only half-hearted, you're not even following through. Like was it that Namibia, that Germany was going to give the Namibian state like $3 billion or something, 3 billion
Something like
euros
that,
or something for a genocide. And you think Germany
Over 10 years.
would know better, would know how much a genocide costs. You know, Germany, you think you would know better than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I've been feeling this way for a very long
Preach.
time.
But then now when we go back to the conversation, because now you've talked about states, and states, your solution is reparations, pay us for how much you hurt, the damage you created. So now, would you do the same with brands? Do brands who create these images that negatively make a negative image of someone else or someone other community, do you also tell them to pay reparations to those communities, or do you have better solutions for it, or should they just rebrand?
I don't know if they're hurting anyone. You see, it's different. Right now, we are living in a world that is very PC, right?
PC means?
Politically correct, right? And as Chrisem, I want to see an image of a Kenyan which is very positive, right? If you showcase an image of a Kenyan which is a bit negative, all I'll request from you is an apology, number one, and you rebrand. I won't ask you to pay. You're not paying for anything unless you took something from us, or you physically caused harm to one of us or to us as a community. Yeah. Because the Eminems, are they apologizing to the women and paying all women in the world? Nah. All I'm saying is, do this. When you're rebranding, that's okay. It's within your rights. Because in a company, they're beholden to their bottom line and their shareholders, right?
It's money first.
It's money first. It's always money first. Right? So what you do is just don't take away all aspects of the old world to go into the new world when some things are still working. A woman is still a woman. There's some women in this world who still want to maintain that feminine image.
It's about choice more than
about choice.
else. Yeah.
Present all the choices. Say you have 5 Eminems. One will be African, one will be Asian, one will be whatever. Do something like that, and then move forward. But don't kill off one thing just to make another one rise.
So you can't blame, but you wouldn't blame the organizations for trying to be more politically correct because basically they're being proactive rather than reactive. They've seen other brands being cancelled for having certain brands, certain images, and so they make the decision that they're gonna change the brand to be ahead of the time so that they're not cancelled.
But here's the thing with Mars Incorporated, right? Our issue, rather my issue with Mars Incorporated is not that your M&Ms are too feminine or masculine. My issue is that you have been accused for the last 4 years in a row almost of using child slave labor in getting your cocoa beans. That is the issue. If you actually want to rebrand that, fix that. I personally do not care that the green M&M now has sensible sneakers. Could not care less. But the fact that you're still actively profiting and exploiting the labor of children. Meanwhile, you turn around and in your ads in the US, you're basically saying, children are so important to us. We need to make sure they eat healthily. And then, no.
So you're saying they've dropped the ball.
They really have dropped the ball, yeah.
Okay.
Completely focusing on the wrong thing.
And also, there's a company called Nike. There's a time when there's a lot of backlash against a certain American footballer, I think called Kaepernick.
The Colin Kaepernick situation.
Colin Kaepernick, right? Nike, they stood their ground. They're like, no.
We will support.
We'll support him, whatever he was doing. it was well within his rights.
Yeah.
So whereas the world was moving in a certain direction, they stood their ground. They're still, the bottom line is still not affected that much, right? So I think at some point it will come.
It actually increased their profits. So they also
when
made a
you're right,
financial
you're right,
decision.
right? When you're right, you're right. So I think, and I'm not blaming Mars or any other company. You can do whatever you want to do, but sometimes it's better for you to stand in the side that is right. You don't have to give in to the powers or to the fad of the day.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not using Mars. I'm just speaking generally. Just generally. When you're right, you're right. Do what is right, and everything else will follow.
X, I'll give you 1 minute to respond.
Okay, 1 minute?
1 minute.
Because it just seems like you said that like a company that responds to growing societal changes and like responds to how, you know, consumer demand for a better representation of certain marginalized communities is bowing to social pressure, as opposed to reevaluating its history, realizing, hey, we may participated in the structural racism that has kept marginalized communities down in this country for generations, and maybe we should do something about it, even if it's as small as rebranding. It kind of seems like you're saying companies shouldn't do that because doing that means giving into social pressure. And that's bad.
Don't kill the woman. Don't kill the woman.
Yeah.
When I want to go and buy the M&Ms, I want to look at it and say, this is a woman. I want to go and say, oh, this is a man, for example. This is a neutral person. Now, assuming they were packaging it in an entire package, right? Let's say this package is the feminine one. This package, not just the individual ones. This package is the masculine, this is the neutral one. If you take away the feminine one, you have alienated me. I don't want to buy the one that is neutral. Maybe I don't want to buy the one that is masculine. Maybe when I went to the supermarket, the one that I really want
is the green M&M.
Is the green M&M. So give everyone what they want, but don't kill off something else because the society is telling you
that
women can be something more.
Yeah.
Don't depict us this way. But then there's another group that's saying, it's okay. As a woman, I have no problem with that because that's what I exude.
Sorry, X, because of time, I'm not going to allow you to respond, but we'll be back after the
I
break.
have no words.
Where
I have
we will
no words.
conclude today's
What?
episode. Welcome back to Work in Progress. So before we conclude the show, we're going to have, AX is going to lead us with an interesting question she had for us, and then we'll conclude thereafter.
Okay, guys, have you ever watched the movie Don't Look Up?
I remember it was on Twitter a lot over the Christmas period, yes.
Yeah, so Don't Look Up is one of Netflix's new movies that came out towards the end of last year. And in this movie, kind of the entire world finds out at the same time that the world is going to end by an asteroid. Like, there's nothing you can do about it, right? And that led me to a very important question that I would like to ask with the two of you, to my left and right.
And you'll ask yourself as well?
Seeing as you did not give us your thoughts on the green M&M, I feel like I do not have to give my thoughts on this question.
Fair enough.
Good. So, if the world was ending in 24 hours, what would you do? Do you have any goals you'd like to achieve, any places you'd like to travel, people you'd like to slap, or declarations of love you'd like to profess?
GK, let you go first.
I think I've always had this dream, and this may get me some problems professionally, but I've always had this dream that the 24 hours, if you have 24 hours left on this earth, I'm going to release every secret I know. That I've always known that I want to do. Every secret I know must, because I believe secrets in themselves are nonsensical and they don't fit a purpose. So
And
now
yet you
if we
keep
know the
them.
world is ending on that day, then already that small purpose they have doesn't
Is
exist
the world
anymore.
ending? Am I? You're dying.
He said
The world
she said
is ending.
An
Oh.
asteroid is coming to
Yeah.
hit us and the world is ending. So to me, that is the solution for everyone to know all the answers to the questions we have had. The questions about Area 51 in America and all the have we had aliens?
Potentially.
Who killed JFK? The questions of Kenyan assassinations in the 1960s.
By the way, that would be cool.
All those things should be released because there's no change, there's no backlash, there's literally no tomorrow. All secrets must be uncovered. That is the only thing I will do.
You are very messy and I love it. Go on.
I'm not as interesting as GK. So if the world was to end in the next 24 hours, I would shut off the world.
Wait,
The
what?
entire world. I would shut off everyone. I'd just be by myself, honestly.
And reflect
I
on...
want to die peacefully. I want to die peacefully.
Okay.
I don't want any drama. I don't want people crying around me. I don't want the drama. So just go into my house, lock
Put
my
on your
door,
TV.
put on my TV, put on music, or whatever, and have the best 24 hours.
Cheers to yourself.
of my life.
To the freaking weekend,
That's
man.
That is, I'm sorry, and I know everyone is allowed to have their own opinions.
Are you criticizing his
but
last
your
24
opinion
hours?
is wrong. Because
How is it wrong?
we exist because, okay,
You exist because you want to see the
we
other
exist
band.
because others exist. It's
Okay.
their existence that makes our life have meaning. That is a belief I follow. So if other people, if you spend the last 24 hours you have without other people, how much sense does that make?
It makes perfect. I understand
this.
that impulse. I really do. You might want to have the last 24 hours be peaceful, and if people are panicking around you, if people are stressing, they're freaking out, that energy is going to negatively affect what the vibe you're trying to go for.
Imagine you
Just
sitting
peace,
there, your sister is
serenity.
crying, your mother is crying, everyone is hysterical.
Your auntie's over there in the corner praying, speaking in tongues, trying to see if the.
Die alone. And that's what. And that, there's something about dying alone. I don't know if this is just me thinking about it. Yeah, people on death row,
Okay.
they're kept alone so that they can be
With
by
their thoughts.
themselves with their thoughts and all that. Maybe that's a form of punishment.
That's torture.
But it's also a moment of reflection.
Yeah, you think about, hey, I was here for 35 years or 40 years.
And this is what I've done.
How many lives did I touch? You want the world to burn before people die.
No, the world won't. Yes, actually,
The
yes.
world
I
will
want the world
burn.
to
The
burn.
world
You love
will
chaos.
A little bit.
You love
a little
chaos,
bit.
yeah.
Okay,
You know what? For the sake of just how funny it would be, I prefer GK's plan. It would be really fun to watch.
So what would you do? Just humor me. Leave GK alone.
I don't know really. Yeah.
You developed a question you don't have the answer to.
I really don't know because I feel like it's the last 24 hours of my life, so I would tell a bunch of people that I hated them. I would try to slap a bunch of people.
Okay.
I would set a fire.
So also yours is just as chaotic as mine.
I want to know what it feels like to set a fire.
Okay.
I would play with my cat to make sure she's okay, make sure she doesn't freak out. And then I'd spend a lot of time by myself, yeah.
Okay.
So you're doing the best.
I'm doing the best of both
Both of
worlds.
them, okay.
That's why I'm in the middle between the two of you.
Okay, so as we conclude, today I thought I'd give people a quote about
Okay.
creation and innovation, and it's by Seneca, who's a Roman philosopher, and he said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." I'll let you ponder that. Thank you so much for watching Work in Progress, and we will be here with you as we always are next week.